Hello, 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 and welcome to another episode of the We Don't Wanna Podcast, the show where two certified dipshits make uncertified takes about your favorite series. We are your hosts. I'm Scott, and joining me as always, I wish I had some wine for him. It's just a bit early in the day for me. It's Zachary and Zachary! Not all of us are raging alcoholics, my dude, you know.
Yeah, I just need you guys to catch up. Follow suit. Let's go. It's time for drinking.
True. It's always drink o'clock for Zach.
Dude, it's like pulling teeth to get you to drink with me, actually.
That's not true.
You don't drink much.
I don't drink a lot, but like if you wanted me to drink with you, when have I ever refused?
Let's go have shots right now.
on the episode. No, I refuse. This is Game of Thrones, season 5, episode 3. Hi, Sparrow. Zachy, how are you doing this fine morning? We're gonna pretend that it's morning because I made that joke. How you doing, bud? It's so early. You look like you just rolled out of bed. That's because of the hair.
Yeah, look.
Yeah, the bed head for sure.
Yeah, there you go.
For sure.
I am doing good.
Hell yeah.
There were some exciting video game developments.
True.
Looking forward to a couple things.
Yeah. The Game Awards.
Some interesting folks. I don't know why I pulled that out, but
anyway, I know no one's interested, but the Game Awards just happened last night, and nobody really gives a shit about the actual awards. It's all about them reveal trailers. And the sequel to one of me and Zach's favorite games that we probably talked about a lot on the podcast before.
We did when both of us were playing.
Yeah, Hades, a sequel for that got announced, so we're mad stoked for that. And there's some cool ass shit.
Mad stoked.
Some cool ass shit coming in the works. You know, exciting times
like me.
For definitely not you. There's nothing cool about you.
I'm coming.
That part is at least true. So yes, that's very, very exciting stuff for the gamers out there. Zach, yeah. I do actually have a question for you now that like your busy season is over. This question is for me and the two One Piece fans that we have out there. Are you going to resume watching One Piece now that your busy season is over?
Absolutely.
Okay.
So we haven't really checked in on the pod. But I have picked One Piece back up for those of you guys that are OG fans.
Yeah.
Which I know that there's still some stragglers out there.
All two of the One Piece fans.
If you're new here, Scotty and I started this whole thing with me watching One Piece when I had refused to watch One Piece in the past. And I have recently started watching it again. I'm still very early in the series, so if any of you guys are One Piece fans out there, I have just started Water 7. They are essentially the city's about to get put on lockdown, and we just learned that the guy with the arms. He's a cyborg.
Oh, right, Frankie, my guy Frankie. The guy with the arms. Okay, yeah, I see that. The Popeye arms. He got them Popeye forearms. Yeah.
That Frankie is in cahoots, I guess, and he's likely the person who has whatever. You guys don't.
It's like I said, for all of the two One Piece fans out there, including myself. It's an exciting time in the series, and it just takes me back to the OG days. And I have to think about that and cringe a lot. Because boy, were we bad, and boy, was that audio quality bad in those first episodes.
Bad for like the first few episodes. It wasn't terrible.
Don't listen to those. I
mean, look, we definitely have gotten a lot better since then. True. I'm sure you all have noticed. But no, hopefully. Yeah, it's not bad.
Everyone's
it's
out there like,
content,
I thought
man.
they still suck.
Content.
I thought it still sucks to me.
True. No, that's fair.
Anyway, anything else?
Yeah, no, I am good overall. I went to a show last night, got pretty drunk.
Oh, yeah, he did.
Got pretty fucked up.
We had a good time. You were texting the boys.
Went to go
drunk, and
went to go see
funny.
Turnover. For any of you people out there who like emo, sad boy elevator music, We saw the band Turnover. They were great. They're one of Amanda's favorite bands, so it was cool to
big fan.
Go to that show.
Big fan of that elevator music is Amanda.
Yeah, the Emovator music.
Amanda has such strange tastes in like everything. Exhibit A, she married you. God bless her heart. I love her to death, but she has some odd taste.
Yeah, she's something else.
She's something else.
She just flipped.
Hell yeah. True though, actually.
No, yeah, it was a good time. Definitely had some. Oh, actually, fuck. So the bassist to this one band.
Oh yeah. This is funny.
Legitimately. Oh my, this is so funny, dude. Legitimately looked like Nicolas Cage in a wig.
Yeah.
Like in a long, like
rocker,
death metal dude.
Yeah, wig. Yeah.
100%.
Can verify.
Almost like if anybody's seen the movie Selena. I don't know that you have, like with Jennifer Lopez. Selena like marries a guitarist who plays for her, who's like he's a rocker fool, and looked just like him, but Nick Cage. It was hilarious.
It's pretty good.
I may have to put up a picture.
He
of
did
this
look
shit on
a lot
Instagram
like Nick
because
Cage.
it is very funny.
That
dude.
checks out. That definitely checks out.
Anyway, yeah, how you doing, bud?
I'm excellent. You know, just patiently waiting for you to watch One Piece so we can talk about it. And that's about it. You know, I'm a simple man. Simple man, simple deeds.
Hey, actually, I'm ashamed. Actually, I shouldn't be ashamed. We haven't fucking actually recorded in forever. In five ever
even, yeah.
You are building
a
Star Destroyer.
Yes. I made
Did you not want to tell the folks at home?
Listen, it's fine. I made what some may call and I myself called a somewhat questionable purchase of a extremely large Lego Star Destroyer. And yes, dildo. What?
An extremely large dildo.
Yeah. And yes, I am a 34. Am I 34 or 35, Zach?
I think you're 30.
I'm 34. I can never remember. 34-year-old man building Star Wars Legos. It's fucking enormous. It's literally taking up my entire dining table as I build it currently. But you know what? It's fun as hell, and I'm having a real good time with it. It's just very cool. It looks sick as fuck. He's flipping off his wife again, and yeah, that's about that. I'm just building Star Destroyers out here. You know?
Building Star Destroyers, playing video games.
Yeah. I mean, what else?
Podcasting,
yeah,
dude. What a bachelor!
What a cool
life.
guy I am. Like, check out this dude.
What a fucking guy.
What a fucking guy.
Hey, you still look good though, Scotty.
Thanks, pal.
Like your face legitimately does look more slim than the last time, which I guess it's been about a month.
It has been about a month.
So the fasting thing is still going?
Yeah, I got off of it there for a while when we talked about this when I visited our buddies in Cruces and went camping. But I'm pretty much back on. And I will go off it again soon when I...
Are you still doing like 2 or 3 days at a time, or are you just...
I pretty much try to stick to one meal every other day at this point. So
every other day.
It's like 48 hours in between eating.
That is wild.
Yeah.
Do you feel like that meal is like loaded up? Like it's a big...
I mean, I usually eat too much because the problem with my system is I'm an idiot. So my stomach has shrunk way down, but like I still think I'm very hungry when I do go to eat, and my eyes are way bigger than my stomach, and so then I overstuff myself, and then I feel sick. But it's fine. It's whatever. It's still working. So it's much harder.
That's how I feel when I'm picking out butt plugs.
Wait, what?
I always just get one way bigger than I need. My eyes are way bigger than my butthole.
I had no idea how you were tying that together. This is season 5 episode. I'm just gonna transition. There's no coming back from that. Season 5, episode 3. Hi, Sparrow. I'm gonna jump us off with this. Zach, did you just lose power or
no?
What the hell? Pay your electricity bill, Zachary. His lights went out.
Hold on.
It's fine. You just look spooky now. Spoopy. You good?
Yeah, I'm good.
Okay, good. Well,
We're leaving that in.
Well, yeah, we're leaving that all in. Let's do this damn thing so Zach can go pay his electricity bill. Well, I'm going to start us off with this recap. We begin in the House of Black and White, where Arya is sick of sweeping floors. She asks Jaqen why he isn't teaching her how to be a faceless man, and he gives her some wise, mystical bullshit answer about serving the one true god, Death. In King's Landing, Cersei is big jealous of the people calling out for Queen Marjorie, as Queen Marjorie marries Tommen. Tommy boy, though, having the time of his life doing the hanky-panky with his new bride. And what a coincidence! They both love to sail. Can you believe that?
Dude, I am so glad that you included this because it's in my notes. I was like, this is just the best.
It might be my
ever.
favorite part of this episode. They both love to sail. I can't even believe that. Marjorie has Tommy Boy wrapped around her finger and plans the idea of sending Cersei away from King's Landing. Tommy asks Cersei about going back to Casterly Rock, and Marjorie salts that wound by dunking on her for 10 minutes at breakfast. Cersei is not pleased. In the north, the Boltons are restoring Winterfell, and Ramsay is busy flaying other northern lords. Roose tells Ramsay that they can't hold the north if the other lords rise up against them, and he has the perfect girl for Ramsay to marry to secure the northern lords' allegiance. Smash cut to Sansa Stark riding with Littlefinger up to Moat Cailin. Sansa realizes they're going to Winterfell, and the marriage proposal he spoke of was for her to the Boltons. She refuses at first, saying she'll starve herself, etc., but Littlefinger gives her a big speech about Winterfell being her home and getting revenge for her family. Sansa goes along with them. Brienne and Pod, who are following, decide to go all the way around Moat Cailin because Brienne knows where they are going. We hear Pod's backstory of how he came to squire for Tyrion, and then Brienne's backstory of how she came to serve King Renly. Brienne also decides that she's going to train Pod how to fight and vows that she will take her vengeance for Renly on Stannis. At the wall, Stannis asks Lord Commander Jon Snow about his offer, and Jon refuses him. Stannis says he plans to march on Winterfell soon and that he leaves the fate of the wildling prisoners in Jon's hands. He also advises Jon that he has many enemies amongst the Night's Watch and he should give Alistair Thorne command of Eastwatch. Davos stays behind after Stannis leaves and tells him that Stannis sees something in Jon and believes in him. Jon says he cannot help Stannis because he's sworn to take no part in the wars of the Seven Kingdoms. Davos observes that the North will suffer as long as the Boltons hold it, and that the Night's Watch vow swears to guard the realms of men.
Back in Bravos, back at the Justice...
Meanwhile, back in the hall of the Bravos League, or something.
Back in Bravos, the waif, which I don't think she's been named the waif yet, but the waif starts beating Arya with a stick because she's bad at lying and being no one. Jaqen asks how she can be no one when she has all of Arya Stark's things. Arya dumps all her belongings into the sea except for her sword Needle, which she cannot bring herself to get rid of. She hides it instead. Jaqen then takes her deeper into the House of Black and White, where she helps the waif prepare the bodies of the people who have come to die. Sansa and Littlefinger arrive at Winterfell and are introduced to the Boltons. Ramsay's girl Miranda is big jealous, and some old lady tells Sansa that the North remembers. Ramses is singing at the party.
Ramesses is singing at the party. Shouts to Nacho Libre. That movie holds up.
Oh my god, dude. The amount of one-liners in that movie is
so good.
Unbelievable.
So
okay,
funny.
fuck me. Holy shit. Ramsay tells Littlefinger he'll never hurt Sansa, and Littlefinger seems completely clueless about him.
Fucking idiot.
Roose and Littlefinger do some verbal jousting about their alliance. At the wall, Lord Commander Snow got jokes.
Got them jokes.
He's cracking some jokes, and Sir Alistair is not amused. Jon names him First Ranger anyway. He then tasks Lord Janos with restoring the castle Greyguard, and Lord Janos refuses. Lord Commander Snow got stones.
He got them stones too.
Jon has Janos taken outside and beheads him for refusing to follow orders. Stannis approves this message. This is Stannis, and I approve this message. In King's Landing, the High Septim is big into some kinky-ass roleplay shit when the Sparrows, led by Lancel, a.k.a. Jamie Light, a.k.a. Diet Jamie, a.k.a. Jamie from Wish.com, comes in and force him to walk naked through the streets. He's probably into it a little bit as he's getting caned as he's doing it. He goes to the small council and asks that they get rid of the Sparrows and execute the High Sparrow. Cersei goes to chat with the High Sparrow and tells him that she has imprisoned the High Septon and asks that the Sparrows support the crown. Cersei has Qyburn send a message to Littlefinger as Frankenmountain stirs on the table. In the east, Tyrion is going crazy in the carriage and gets out to walk around Volantis with Varys. Tyrion listens to a Red Priestess stirring up some slaves for the Dragon Queen. Then they go into a brothel where Tyrion finds that he has no taste for whores anymore. He's having a nice piss when Jorah Mormont captures him and tells him that he's taking Tyrion to the Queen.
Dun, dun, dun.
Dun, dun, dun. Oh, you hear that
boy.
vibrato?
Yeah, it was lovely.
It was so sexy. That was some next level shit right there,
yes,
huh?
indeed. That was episode 503, The High Sparrow.
Okay, can I just say...
Say
a much better paced episode. Still feels like it's going nowhere with a lot of things, but like it didn't feel like it dragged as much as the last episode.
No, in fact, I would say, Zach, this is you have made this observation before, and I will piggyback off of that. Where the people who specifically try to call out season 7, right, for the teleporting, like that has literally happened this entire show, and we will probably continue to call it out. They go from Moat Cailin to Winterfell in like 3 minutes in this episode. Those are a long ass, far ass away apart. So I don't want to hear about people bitching about teleporting in season 7. Season 7 has plenty of its own problems without giving it that bullshit, you know?
It's funny because like Game of Thrones seasons... Okay, this is a little slight tangent here.
Get us in the weeds, baby. We love it.
Yeah, Game of Thrones season 7 brought about a lot of casuals, and you know how I love them casuals.
You love filthy casuals.
Fucking normies.
Fucking normies. Goddamn.
Brought about these casuals who were all of a sudden film critics.
And Zach is the only true film critic here. We know that.
Yeah, come on, we know that.
Yeah.
But everybody's favorite term was pacing. Everybody talked about the pacing was bad. And I do not dispute that many of the later seasons of Game of Thrones do suffer from some pacing issues.
True.
So many people would say the pacing's terrible, and then they would immediately follow up with like, how did so-and-so get from here to here so fast? And it's like, I don't think you really get what the fuck you're trying to say.
Yeah, true.
Like, it's like, obviously Game of Thrones is a much like higher level of television, but it brought about a much higher level of stupidity of people trying to like talk like they know about how to make a good TV show.
I appreciate how you tried to not sound like such a douchebag when you said that.
I mean, dude, am I right or wrong?
Listen, you're right, but you sounded like such a fucking asshole. Game of Thrones is a much higher level of television.
I mean, look, there's a difference between watching Game of Thrones and watching fucking
The Big Bang Theory.
I don't know.
I am 100% fucking with you. I just I had to call it out because I love you to death. And I agree completely, but it's just very.
What are
funny.
Friends for?
Yeah,
really.
Let's jump in here.
Okay, let's do the thing
because we're starting off with our girl. We love starting with Arya.
I just need to tell you.
Okay.
I genuinely, buddy, I love you, man. Like sometimes when you write your notes, like the recaps that we read, I'm like, dude, like get out of my head, my guy. Like, get the fuck out. So my first note on this episode is Arya's dealing with some weird weird ass cryptic shit. Jesus, I can't talk right now. And I think in your recap, you said something
mystical
about
bullshit. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like we're in each other's balls.
You and I share one brain cell. Sometimes
we share one nut.
Please, God damn it.
We share a tip.
A coconut. It's a coconut, Mom. I swear. Anyway, this nothing ass answer that Jack gives her is just whatever. The whole black and white House of Black and White stuff gets a lot better later when he actually gives her a real response and is like, hey, you claim you're ready to be no one and you can do all this shit, but you got all this baggage weighing you down.
I have a harsh criticism here
of
the House of Black and White.
Okay, hit me.
House of Black and White reminds me of like people like maybe LARPing.
What?
And like trying to make like on the fly like some weird shit, so they just don't say like, ooh, it's really mystical. I can't give you the deets.
They're saying things without actually saying anything.
Yeah. Like this is peak role playing right here.
The reason I started cracking up there is like I just had a thought of how funny it would be is if you were like, you know what my beef with the House of Black and White is? Not enough black, not enough white in there. Like they call the House of Black and White, and it's just a bunch of like gray stone, as far as I can tell.
Design in here, they have a black and white door, and that's it.
Black and white door inside, no black, no white.
Open concept and all stone. Come on.
I don't know why I thought you were gonna say that, but I was like, that'd be very funny,
dude. This is the We Don't Want a Podcast brings you home makeover.
Extreme home makeover. This is Bravos edition. I'm pretty sure I've made that joke many times before. Yeah, like I said, this for opening scene is what the fuck ever. But I do like how he's like, yeah, you can't become no one. You're still trying to be Arya Stark.
Yeah.
And so she goes and dumps all her shit in the sea, except she cannot bring herself to get rid of Needle. Which
I'm here for.
100%. That is so tied to...
That's her lifeblood, man.
As far as she is concerned, that is her reminder of her one living family member that's left. Like Jon Snow.
Yes.
Like Jon Snow gave her that sword. As far as she is aware, am I wrong? That's the only person that she thinks is still alive? Yes?
Yes. Well, I think she's just I don't know that she's
unsure about
accepted Sansa's death.
But everyone else, obviously.
She is confident about Jon's life being unharmed.
And yes,
which is funny because it's like, dude, he's at the wall. Like,
he's fine.
Why are you so sure
he's
of that?
Totally fine up there. It's not like there's wildlings or anything. Yes, but I'm 100% with you. I'm very glad that she held on to at least that piece of her. That this becoming a faceless man is a means to an end for her. She is not, getting indoctrinated or whatever here. Like, this is just a means to an end, a quest for abilities and power, more or less, because... And this basically proves it, and that she's not totally bought in. She is trying to acquire power, more or less.
It's interesting because, like, it's in these moments, and I feel like even more so than the dragon stuff, that it feels like it kind of, like, brushes up against the line of, like, higher fantasy. Like, where it's, like, more mystical and, like...
Oh, sure.
Like the magic powers and shit. And I think we talked about this. We talked about this during House of the Dragon. That that we became, I guess, a little bit more aware of the fact that we prefer a lower fantasy, like more medieval type fantasy.
Sure.
And I don't know, maybe that's one of the reasons why I just feel like this stuff is so boring, but like it is, we get something when Jackin or a man or whatever. See, I hate all this shit. I just think it's kind of cringe.
Just call him Jackin.
When Jackin essentially, like he tells her like why she's not accepted yet.
Right.
And it's like, okay, cool. We're making some progress.
Yes.
Like I am the type of person that like I want to know how. I want to know why. And you feel like we're going to get some of that. And I don't really feel like the House of Black and White ends up delivering on that. And that might be maybe looking ahead a little bit too much. So I do apologize about that. But like,
I mean, you're definitely looking ahead. But like, as of this moment, I appreciate that we got way more forward momentum in the House of Black and White than we did last episode, for example.
Sure.
Because like, shit actually happened.
Yes, and it actually seems like it's for a reason.
Yes, right. It wasn't just stalling. And now, of course,
Right.
after she does all this, and she's fully garbed up in her House of Black and White clothes, she's now, helping take care of the bodies. She's like deeper into...
Not much black on those clothes,
Not much.
though. It's weird.
Yeah, true. Not enough black, gotta say. But she's deeper, like, down into the dungeons, the cellar of whatever you want to call it. And of course, she asks the waif, like, well, what do they do with the bodies? And that's our next mystery.
How bad does the waif suck, too, though, man?
Waif fucking sucks. Let's not waste any time talking about the fucking waif.
Okay, all right. Dude, do you like to sail?
I fucking love to sail. How?
I do, too.
Oh my god, what are the odds?
This is gonna be so much fun.
Dude. It's so good.
Dude, who the fuck wrote that dialogue, man?
I love it. I actually low-key love it. It's because it's just like, Tommen is so easy. Like, I mean, I would be too after what Marjorie probably just gave him.
Oh,
but,
yeah.
My favorite part, actually, that's probably the sailing thing. But my other favorite part of this is...
him asking her, did it hurt?
Well, that's very good, but specifically when he's like, it all happened so fast, and she just laughs and is just like, yeah.
Yeah, it did. It's very good.
She just gives a little chuckle and is just like, yeah. It's so fucking good. I love Marjorie so much sometimes.
Dude, imagine being a grown man and understanding like what we understand and then having that experience with a woman.
Oh my god.
That would be the worst thing in my fucking life.
Listen, Tommy Boy is having himself the time of his life. Good for him, Hell yeah, brother.
I just want to do this all day, every day for the rest of my life.
Marjorie's like, wouldn't that be something? Oh, shit. I got to talk to this kid about sailing or something. It's so good.
It's so fucking funny, dude.
Anyway, Cersei be taking L's here, by the way.
Oh, yeah.
First of all,
almost felt bad for her.
I kind of did. I'm a Cersei stan. All the people are just chanting for Queen Marjorie. And then, man, I thought Sam eviscerated Janos Slynt last episode, but Marjorie goes in on Cersei. It's just savage. I think I have this here too. Yeah. Okay. So first, when Cersei walks in, Marjorie very, very specifically calls her mother, which is always very funny.
Mother.
And then, can we bring you something to drink? I wish we had some wine for you. It's a bit early in the day for us. Just brutal.
Ruthless.
And then she keeps going, like, she calls her like grandmother, like, oh, you'll be a grandma soon. I'm not sure what to call you.
I'm a bit exhausted. She's like, I've been fucking your kid all night.
Fucking your son, your baby all night. What was that joke she was telling her ladies when Cersei walks in too about like, oh, he was like, oh, what is the record? I'm sure we can break it. Oh. So fucking funny, dude. It's savage. I do almost feel bad for Cersei in this scene.
Yeah, and what's worse is that like she seems so like powerless in this exchange.
Cersei,
and
like,
it's not common that we see Cersei in that vein.
She doesn't like bite back. She doesn't like.
She looks sad.
She does. She doesn't like rage. Usually she has a quip like ready in the chamber. She just kind of had nothing. It's kind of sad.
It was kind of sad.
Anyway, it's still funny as hell. Big fan of Marjorie, obviously. Anything else from that?
That's about it.
Okay.
No, that's about it. We go back to Sansa Littlefinger.
Yeah. Well, first the Boltons up at Winterfell. Because this is where basically Roose tells Ramsay like, hey, yeah, I know you're big on this whole flaying thing. Love the shout out to my house. Not gonna get us anywhere.
Oh, I love that he's like, stop eating.
Yes. Also, how he's like, we cannot hold the North with fear alone. And then he's like, if you think the Lannisters are gonna come up here and help us with an army, you're an idiot. And yeah, basically like, we need to form marriage alliances. It just so happens I have the perfect girl for you to marry. Boom, here's Sansa Stark riding up to Moat Cailin.
Is this our first time seeing Moat Cailin?
No.
I think so, right?
No, we saw it when Theon took it back for the Boltons.
Did we see it from like the whole thing, or like was it just like him like?
I think so.
Really?
I think so. Yeah.
I thought it looked good.
It does look cool.
So.
Yeah. I mean, Moat Cailin's just kind of a cool castle, cool concept anyway, but
yeah.
So this storyline, the whole Sansa getting married to Ramsay.
Dude, can we just acknowledge like how long Sansa's storyline has taken to like for her to develop and like not be a naive child, except for the fact that she's still a naive child.
Yes.
Like you feel like she's like, you know, because she's starting to make these assumptions and like kind of figure some stuff out.
Mm-hmm.
She's like, oh, that marriage that wasn't for you. You know, like she realizes it's for her. Too little, too late, obviously. Mm-hmm. She throws a fit, and then fucking Littlefinger still just finesses her ass.
Yeah, like listen, I guess if I'm being generous, it's like you can tell she feels trapped in this moment.
Oh, yeah.
Like,
oh, definitely.
She kind of feels like there's nothing she can do at this point, and I'm sure is very much wishing she had gone with Brienne instead of shady ass Littlefinger. Kind of should have seen that coming, Sansa. But yeah, I mean, Littlefinger, you're also right, did just absolutely totally finesse her. But like, listen, like this storyline is like just very difficult to even talk about because it's just it's rough to watch, like where this goes, obviously. It's a huge deviation from the book, so it's tough to like. She was like, oh, they were just doing, you know, following the thing. So it's like I don't even know where to like start or begin with this because it's just like they kind of have to use Sansa for something. Because, like, at this point in the book, she's just kind of hanging out in the Eyrie and not doing nothing. So, I get it. You kind of wanted to, like, give Sansa something to do.
So, like, I guess, and maybe this is my ignorance showing, but, like, because I have not read up until this point in the books, like, I don't think that this is a bad storyline.
No.
To like the idea of using Sansa, I mean, like we hear of her being the key of the North,
right,
or the key to the North, like so many times. So I think that this fits.
Yes,
it's just I do think your first comment is like it is a tough.
Right, I think what I'm trying to get across is that it's just it's difficult and it's hard because, like you mentioned, it seems like we'd finally gotten this character growth and this like moment of like breaking out of this person who is just kind of like a prisoner who is constantly being just used and, all the time as just like a pawn, only to immediately fall back into that same situation.
Right.
And listen, you're absolutely right in the fact that's like this totally makes sense from like a storytelling perspective. But also on the other hand, it's like, man, we just had that big moment at the end of season 4 where it's like, oh, she's like breaking out of that and getting past that now. Psych. No, she's actually not.
Yeah.
So I don't know if this is just my reservation about this is just like, oh, that's tough and that's just like hard to like mentally deal with.
Yeah.
Or if I just don't like that storytelling direction. And I honestly, I don't know if I can say for sure.
It's interesting. Like, I know that there has been a lot of like critique on the way that George Martin writes women as a whole, but especially the women that become like powerful women.
For sure.
And like the idea that like a woman has to go through bad shit to emerge as this like powerful person, obviously that's fucked up. Mm-hmm. But I will say, just strictly from like a point of interest, I think that's a good formula for any character,
right?
Whether you're a man or a woman, right? I mean, it's a good formula for anybody, just to make a story compelling,
right,
or to make a character compelling. I do think though, like with somebody like Sansa in particular, it's like, dang, dude, like this has gone on for like a third or half of her life at this point.
Listen, like 99.99% of characters in any story ever have like trauma and shit to deal with. That's kind of just like storytelling.
It's a trope.
Like,
that's
it's just like things would be
sure.
boring if that was not the case. But yeah, it's just like, it seems like, especially, and I know we're really kind of talking ahead here at this point, but like it's like extra sad because it's just like Sansa cannot catch a fucking break.
She can't.
And it's just like here later in the episode when she has to go up to Roose Bolton, who murdered her brother, and plotted to murder her mother and her family and all this shit, and has to like greet him cordially and marry his son, who's even fucking worse than he is, which she doesn't fully know yet. It's just like, it sucks, man. Like, there's no other word for it.
It definitely sucks. Yeah. So yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, I mean, I said this last episode, choices are made in this season, and this is a choice. We got to see it through. I don't love it though.
Yeah.
You're absolutely right. It is absolutely tough to watch.
Yep.
So let's keep moving.
Brienne
on
and Pod.
There's a little bit of Littlefinger and Roose that I actually like.
Sure.
So look, Roose and the Boltons, it's my favorite band.
True.
They're dipshits. I mean, they're assholes. They're fucking dirty scumbags.
Mm-hmm.
However, I think Roose is a very interesting character.
Yes.
His I find myself very attracted to the like kind of quiet
competence.
Yes, that's a very good way to say it. Yes, like the guy gets it.
Roose ain't no fool.
No, definitely not. So I just wanted to point out, like, I really like the interaction between him and Littlefinger about the letter.
I do too. Yeah.
He's just like, dude, can you blame me? Like, look, you're a smart guy. Like, you're not an idiot.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, I fucking checked the letter.
Yeah.
Like, and also, I'm gonna check your response.
Also, I'm gonna read your response before we send it to Bucko.
Yeah, and Littlefinger's like, well, fuck, I can't really do anything about that. So, yeah, just a cool.
That is a good.
I do think he's interesting.
Littlefinger also though, like, I hate to do it. I hate to be that guy, but you should fucking know something about Ramsay. Like, that line he has where he's like, I don't know much about you, and that's strange for a man like me. Like, I just have to call bullshit on, because
Yeah.
Ramsay has done some shit and it hasn't been in secret very much. He's big on the flame, not so much on the secrecy of the flame. So I just gotta call out, like, I don't buy this.
It's an out, man. It's an out for him to act like he didn't know.
Plausible
For his
deniability.
Yeah. It's an out
guess.
for sure. And I don't think it's a fake out. Like, I don't think it's like him just saying that. I think it's a writing choice.
Sure.
Like, you know what I mean?
No, yeah, 100%.
Plot wise, they were like, we need to make sure that he didn't know that this was gonna be because like that's
I get it for sure. Brienne and Pod. So big backstory time here for these two.
Much needed, I think, after a long time.
Honestly, yeah.
They're not, in my opinion, they're not like forward characters that move this show. But I do still think that like we needed to take the time to get some of their backstory. So many other characters get that investment, and they've been on screen for so long, and we haven't really had this.
Yeah.
So it's I think it's good.
And hopefully, finally, the end of Brienne being such a fucking dick to Pod all the time.
Seriously.
I particularly like Brienne's, honestly. I just think, totally get it and makes sense why she was so in love and so dedicated to Renly, because he was a decent human being to her when everyone else was being a shithead. So makes sense, totally got it. And she's like, I'm gonna kill the shit out of Stannis. Oh yeah, good stuff. It's
yeah,
solid
definitely.
writing.
Very happy about this conversation. Pod deserves the result of this conversation of Brienne like saying like, I'm sorry, I'm so mean to you.
And I'm gonna train you.
Yeah, she offers to start training him. It's great. It's a good development and a much needed development in their story.
Pod even has a solid line there where she's like, I can't knight you, but I can teach you how to fight. And Pod says something defective like, well, that's more important, I suppose. And I'm like,
yeah, that's really
Pod.
what matters. Yeah.
Hell yeah, that's my dude. Okay. So are we ready to go to the wall then? I think so. Oh, do you want to talk about?
I kind of want to save the wall.
Yeah, I
kind of
do too. Okay, you want to
Let's
talk
talk
about
about
King's Landing or Volantis then? Okay, King's Landing.
We have to talk about Volantis
Briefly. In King's Landing. So, back in King's Landing, High Septon be doing some weird roleplay shit. I'm not going to get into all that. Listen, you do you, bud.
Not going to yuck your yum.
Not going to yuck yums. Not here to king shame. You do you. But
he does go with the maiden very often.
Yeah, and always the maiden. Always the fucking
always
maiden.
the maiden.
Sir Cousin Lancel and the Sparrows come in and just beat the shit out of him and then make him walk naked through the streets. Like I said, I bet he was big into that secretly as well.
He was probably into it.
He was way into it. Anyway, he tattles to Mom, the Queen Mother, and she goes to talk to the High Sparrow, new character, High Sparrow. Episode's named after him. Big exciting stuff.
So exciting.
He's just
riveting.
He's just kind of like, whatever. Like, they talk for a minute, and she's like, hey, I'm on your side. I want you to help me, and I'll help you, and we'll be buddies.
Right.
And it's like, Cersei, just dig in your own grave over here. I don't know. I don't know what to say about this scene.
I think you're looking a little too far ahead, pal.
I probably am. But even right now, it's just like, listen, align yourself.
Are having religious fanatics.
Yes, that's what I was just saying. Align yourself with religious fanatics is, in my opinion, probably never a great call. Because they are, in fact, fanatics. Also, you already know, Cersei, that your boy Lancel knows some shit about you. He got some dirt. And you're just gonna be buddies with that? I don't know. It doesn't matter.
It is a very strange thing. Look, I don't love the Sparrow thing.
Yeah.
But hey, at the very least, the High Sparrow seems like a decent guy.
Seems like a decent guy for sure. Real quick, I gotta backtrack here quickly because there's a very funny line when the High Septon comes to talk to them in the small council, and
oh my god,
they're like calling him on the what were you doing in Littlefinger's brothel, and he's like, oh, I minister to all
with
the needs.
Mace.
And no, not the Mace one, the Qyburn one, where he just looks at the High Septon and goes, so you are ministering to the needs of these devout prostitutes. It's very good. But yes, Mace also had a great line.
Mace
what was his
being
line?
like, he goes, so somebody says, I heard this happened in Lord Baelish's brothel, and Mace goes, High Septon, this is a rather shocking thing to hear.
This is a rather shocking thing to hear. Shouts to my dude Mace.
So fucking funny.
Fucking
dude.
love that dude. That's about all I have to say about this. Do you have anything to add?
It's not. I mean,
fine.
look,
It's whatever. It's setting things up. Developments will happen from here. This is all just groundwork. Volantis, real quick, before we get to the actual good stuff.
Okay.
This Tyrion and Varys's banter here, I feel like was slightly better on a slightly higher plane than what we got in the first episode.
I need to get out of this wheelhouse. I need to get out of this wheelhouse.
He did say that.
I need to get out of this wheelhouse.
Also, you didn't have to call my man bald, bro. Like, come on. what are we?
Dude.
What are we, 5 years old?
It is pretty funny. But I don't know. There was one of the very first scenes that like you see them.
Mm-hmm.
What's his fucking name? Varys.
Mm-hmm.
He's looking at Tyrion the way I feel about Tyrion in these scenes. He's like, because Tyrion's just being a fucking mopey bitch, dude.
Yeah, dude. Well, listen, to be fair, and I talked about this when we did the season 4 finale of the big deviation for Tyrion's character at this point. What is happening?
Amanda peeks over and she goes, Mopey Bitch is my favorite book about a whale.
Mopey. That's so dumb. Oh, God bless Amanda. Anyway, this is part of the problem I have with the deviation for Tyrion here and his character, because, man, after he kills his father, he is in such a dark place, and the show wants you to keep liking Tyrion and keep him as a good guy, so they won't let him go down that super dark place that Tyrion does go to in the books, and
Sure.
They want you to keep liking him, and so some of the choices that his character, like, why is he all of a sudden like just like against going with this whore? Like, it just doesn't, because the rest of what's supposed to happen hasn't happened. This just doesn't track for me. And again, for like the millionth time, I hate to be that guy.
Well,
but I'm gonna be that guy
you
sometimes.
Are that guy.
Yeah,
you are that guy. Just own it at this point.
I guess so. It's just, these scenes could be very, very much more, yeah, I just said that, interesting if they allowed Tyrion's character the time and the space to go into that very dark place, and I think it would have been more interesting and, you know, a better like redemption story.
Yeah, but that doesn't sell merch.
Yeah,
so
it doesn't sell I drink and I know things shirts at Target, I guess. Anyway, that's he gets captured by Jorah. Jorah sneaks up behind his ass. While he's having a piss. And is just like, I'm taking your bitch ass to the queen. And that's kind of,
I have a very particular question here.
Okay, hit me.
do rope ties that just have a ball built into the rope just exist? Like that's just something you can just go pick up at the fucking
rope,
store?
Right? It was like cloth. It was like a.
No, I thought it was rope, dude.
Well, he roped him around like the.
It all looked like one continuous thing. Is
Oh.
how it. I could totally be wrong, but
I
just
think
a
you're
section of
wrong.
it had a ball.
They were
don't
just
know,
in a brothel, to be fair. So yes, that's probably easily accessible.
Okay, all right.
In a brothel, I'm just saying. Did you see what was going on in Littlefinger's brothel? Like,
Yeah,
that shit's
look,
happening.
It's like you go down to the hardware store and it's like, hey, I need some rope, and it's like, okay, do you want the one with the ball gag built in?
Bondage rope or non-bond, regular rope, like sailing rope.
Wait, do you like sailing?
I love sailing. Oh my god, do you like sailing?
Me too.
Holy
Oh
shit,
my
what
God,
are the
we're gonna
odds?
have so much fun.
Okay, we have talked enough shit. I want to talk about
The good
some
stuff.
good ass shit. Again, I mentioned this last episode, but the wall.
Wait, what did you say?
I don't know. Let's not talk about what I just said. The wall.
You were so confident. I was like, maybe I just misunderstood.
No, yeah, you misunderstood. What I mentioned this last episode, the wall is hard carrying up in here. Yeah. This is the good stuff.
Up in here.
Stannis comes in. Is like, hey. And I think Stannis knows what the answer is going to be at this point.
Sure.
He is not shocked by this when Jon tells him, yeah, sorry.
He's
bud.
not Mance Rayder at this.
Right.
Not Mance Rayder. He's not Mace Tyrell.
I knew what you meant. But you botched that joke.
Dude. I'm in shambles.
Fix it in post. Fix it in post. Give us a nice clean Mace Tyrell. So we can fix that. Anyway.
Mace Tyrell.
There you go. Perfect. I didn't ruin it at all. Jon's like, yeah, sorry, bro. It's all I ever wanted, but can't do it. I'm the Lord Commander. I have these vows, all this good shit. Stannis, like I said, I think he knew, is kind of like, yeah, you know what? Sucks, but whatever. I'm going to march on
Sucks,
Winterfell. Sucks. I'm sure Stannis was thinking, oh, that sucks so much butt, dude.
Dude, that sucks butt.
That's what Stannis thinks in his head. Yeah, he's gonna march on Winterfell, and also he's just given up on everything at this point. Given up on Jon Snow becoming Jon Stark, and also he's given up on the wildlings fighting for him. And it's just like, do whatever the fuck you want with them. Also, listen, I think this is very good advice and a good line here from Stannis, where he's like, hey, send all your boy Alistair to Eastwatch. Give him command of Eastwatch. Get him out of here. And Jon's like, I thought I was heard you were supposed to keep your enemies close. And Stan's like, that's a load of horse shit. Whoever said that didn't have any enemies. I'm like, you know, I'm kind of with Stannis.
He might be
onto
something.
He might be onto something. And yeah, then Davos, you know, obviously we all love Davos here, I feel like. And
yeah,
he's like,
it's just I don't love this scene.
I don't think I fully agree with him, but listen, I get what he's trying to do. He's trying to go to bat for his boy. You know, he's trying to
make a case.
He's still trying to make a case. He's trying to get Stannis some fighters, basically. And he pulls this whole, oh, you got to guard the realms of men. And Jon's retort should have been, have you seen the shit that's out there? Because I have. And not so much.
Can we acknowledge Ollie looks like the animated James from James and the Giant Peach?
Yes, 100%. I never thought about that before, but yes, 100%.
It absolutely looks like James from James and the Giant Peach. It's
you
fucking
are
uncanny.
Absolutely
dude.
right.
Weird.
Holy shit. Okay. Yeah.
And I fucking hate
Listen,
Ollie.
all my homies hate Ollie. I almost called him Holly. No one is going.
Fuck Ollie too.
No, I hate Holly too. No one's going to dispute that, but we can't talk about why we really hate Ollie yet. So.
Oh sure.
But we hate him now. Originally, he only what was the?
He has a dumb small mouth. What's not to hate?
potatoes. I was trying to think of what our big Ollie joke was. It was the fucking potatoes. That goddamn potato eater Ollie. Anyway, this is where we get. I can't. Season when we recorded episode 1 was like over a month ago, so I don't for sure remember. But I'm pretty sure this is the best scene of season 5 so far. Is when we get into the hall, and what happens. After that. This scene's incredible. Yes. Love everything about this scene. Love it. Especially, and we talked about this a little bit last week, but props to Kit Harington because he has gotten better and better. His performance, especially like with his facial expressions and his acting, was phenomenal through this whole sequence.
Yeah, like I don't think that he's ever been like bad or anything like that at acting. I mean, it's just that especially in this season, I mean, maybe it's simply because like it's such a stark contrast between the rest of
Stark
Jon
Stark contrast.
Jon Stark contrast against the rest of, you know, like what we're getting in season 5, but like he really does just seem to be like on a different level.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And yes, like there's jokes about him like always being a brooding like character, which he does still do. Mm-hmm. But he seems a little bit more dynamic. Yeah, I feel like
way more
like
dynamic.
You see him processing and feeling more emotions.
Yeah,
and it works. It's good. It's a very, very good scene.
The whole part where, you know, he's trying to like, you know, make the latrine pit joke and calling Brian a ginger and like trying to lighten the mood, and Sir Alistair is just like dead staring into his soul like, I am not amused, motherfucker. I still hate you. And just like how Jon's face, like, you know, he's like trying to like laugh and lighten up the mood, and then he looks at Sir Alistair and it just like his face, you can see his face fall a little bit. It's just really good stuff. Like, it's a phenomenal scene. And, you know, obviously he gives Lord Janos this task of Greyguard, of restoring Greyguard. And Janos is like, shove it up your bastard's ass, boyo. I'm not having it. And then Jon gets deadly serious and hits him with the old, are you refusing my order, my lord? And, you know, Janos doubles down, and Jon ain't fucking around. This scene's...
And the music
kicks in. Ollie, fetch my sword. What does he say? Take him outside and Ollie, fetch my sword. Something to that effect.
Take Lord Janos outside. Ollie, fetch me my sword.
It's so good, dude. The drums, and then just like, I love there's a shot where it only shows like Jon's like shadow on the wall as he's like taking his last drink and puts the drink down before he walks out. It's a real good scene. I love this scene.
It is. Yeah, and then moving through the rest of the scene here, he gets to the I don't know what is it called, like the
block.
Yeah, he gets to the block. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's what I was thinking of. And he says, "Do you have any final words?" Uh-huh. And he, you know, Janos is a coward, so he starts kind of apologizing
because he was in like full denial mode for a bit, where he's like, "Oh, the bastards, you know, thinks he's gonna scare me or whatever."
And I love the build and the music.
Yes.
There's a lot of things that happen here at once. The build and the music, only to be cut off by Jon's hesitation when Janos screams mercy. Yep. And Jon kind of like stumbles. Music stops, and everybody's like, what's gonna happen?
Yep.
And again, dude, Kit Harington's facial acting.
Yep.
Close up on his face while he's like grappling with what he needs to do. And then he lets the sword drop. It's so fucking good,
it's
man.
Fucking phenomenal.
It really, truly is fucking great.
I love this scene.
It was executed well.
Oh, well done. Well played, sir. Kit Harington's acting, the music, just like this character growth and development for Jon. Because it really, like, I feel like on first watch, most most people are gonna think, oh, he's gonna spare him here. Like he's gonna, he asked for mercy, he's gonna spare him. But Jon knows, like,
he's got to set.
He's got to set an example. There's no turning back. He is Lord Commander. This fucker refused a direct order multiple times. This has to happen. And, despite Jon maybe being like kind-hearted or like, like Tormund, I'm sure would call him like soft, probably has called him soft, like Jon follows through and executes the guy himself. Would have made old dad proud. Would have made old dead Ned very proud that he swung the sword. He passed the sentence and he swung the sword. And I think, isn't there like a shot of Sir Alistair's face like right after this happens? And there's like,
yes,
just maybe a little maybe tiny bit of respect there that like, okay, you're actually gonna do it.
Well, and I actually, I'm sorry, I feel like we kind of skipped over this, but I specifically wanted to call out when Alistair steps aside.
Oh, true. Yeah, we did. Yeah, we
like
did skip that.
He's like, hey, I don't like Jon, but like, dude,
you done fucked up, Janice. I don't know what to tell you, brother.
Fucked up.
I don't know what to fuck you, brother, Janice.
Yeah. And Janice, like when he steps aside, Janice is like,
oh, what? Yeah.
You're not gonna take my side?
Yeah,
my god, it's so
that was a
funny.
you thought moment for sure.
Yeah.
Phenomenal scene. Again, I called this out last week, but I just like to call out the editing a little bit. Why aren't we ending with this? Is like in the middle of the episode, and this should have been the climax of the episode. Like, Tyrion getting taken isn't a terrible cliffhanger. Like, I feel like the last one kind of was. But this scene was great and powerful, and like the music, like, come on, that's gonna seem like a small quibble, but and it is.
It's no, I think it's a very real look, dude. Like the one of the things of this season that truly struggles, and we joked about this earlier, is the pace. Yeah. It is. I do think that's a legitimately like. That is a pacing decision.
Yes.
That is a pacing problem.
You know what? You're right. It's not a small quibble. I take that back because it seems very odd when we go from this very intense, emotionally powerful moment to that. I'm pretty sure it goes directly into Naked High Septon, like right after that, if I'm not mistaken. It's just like
fucking wild, dude.
Oh, okay. Now I get fucking whiplash from that gear shift, man.
Yeah, it's that is a perfect example of poor pacing.
Yes.
Like it's just not thoughtful.
Right. Correct.
So no, yeah, I do think it's more of a quibble, and I do think that season 5 really does suffer from this. So it's very interesting how it's just such a contrast from the arguably one of the best seasons of television, one of the best paced seasons of television in season 4. So no, I think that's a very real thing, and I'm glad that you pointed it out.
For sure. Any final thoughts on this episode before we jump in here?
I mean, just as a whole, I think it was much better than episode 1 and 2.
I don't know if I'd go much, but it was better.
Well, I felt like we got more motion in this episode.
Yeah, for sure. Way less stalling. You're absolutely right.
And that feels good.
Yeah.
And there was a final thought that I had I meant to say when we were talking about Jon, that I forgot and I just now remembered. But there's just something so compelling about watching characters that you like make tough decisions. Mm-hmm. Like I'm positive we've talked about this a million times, but just like when characters are the ones making the decisions that change the course of the plot or whatever, that is what makes. Or that is good character writing, and so I love that we get that from Jon here.
For sure.
You get to see him kind of grapple with, the issue at hand. So yeah, very very good storytelling and character writing there. I think.
You know what? I am being a bit of a hater. This episode did have some very good stuff. Like I like the Marjorie stuff a lot. And the Brienne and Pod stuff even. Like, you're right. There was way more forward momentum with basically every storyline. And again, I think that scene with Jon was easily the best scene of the season so far. So
far, yeah.
Let's jump into who be thrown in. Last week, where we last left off, in episode 2, Jon Snow had taken our top spot, followed by Sam at 2, Barristan Selmy at 3, Daenerys Targaryen at 4, and Arya Stark at 5. I'm gonna go way out on a limb here, Zach, and say that perhaps Jon should retain his top spot.
Pretty sure Jon's staying in the top spot.
Pretty sure he I don't know. Like, Marjorie had a really good, funny line of, no, Jon is staying in the top spot. I will hear no arguments otherwise. Barristan could come off. I don't think, was he in this episode?
No.
Did Daenerys do it? Was there Easter? I'm totally lost on where we are and what's happening. No, Daenerys wasn't in this episode,
There
right?
was not East stuff. No, that was last episode.
So Barristan can come off. Obviously I joked about Marjorie, but I do think she definitely makes the list.
Marjorie and Tommen.
Ooh, and Tommen too, you think? Huh?
I mean, dude, Tommen went 4 rounds with
True.
with Marjorie, bro. Come on.
True. Let's see.
And he's got a new sailing partner.
He does have a new sailing partner. I don't know if Tommen's gonna make it though, to be honest with you, because I think Littlefinger is a strong contender.
Yeah, you're probably right.
I think Roose is a strong contender.
Would you say Roose? No, yeah, Roose. I think Roose over Ramsay,
I definitely
right?
think Roose over Ramsay.
Okay.
Roose is the one actually pulling the strings at this point, you know.
Should we maybe consider the High Septon? Or I'm sorry, the High Sparrow?
High Sparrow, I just, he hasn't done anything yet though.
I mean, he just entered into an agreement and alliance with Cersei.
I guess. I love Sam, but Sam can come off. I didn't mention that. I think his only part in this episode was, Mace Raymon's not feeling well. Get well soon, Mace Raymond.
Oh, truly. Arya probably is going to come down because...
I don't know. She progressed in her training, and she didn't throw away Needle, which I think is a good moment for her.
Yeah, it is. It is. That's also a good scene.
Don't know about that. I think she might stay.
Okay.
Brienne, maybe? Like, her backstory was like solid. She's finally not being a dick to Pod.
I'd be more happy to give it to Pod, to be honest. Pod also had a good backstory.
Yeah, that's true.
And now he's getting trained.
All right, you know what? I'll shake to that. We're definitely considering Pod over.
I just like Pod way more than Brienne.
Obviously, Pod the sex god, my fucking dude. Anyone we're forgetting? Definitely not Sansa. Not Stannis. I love Davos, but no.
Ollie.
He's
handpicked by Jon to be his new.
No, you're probably right. I think that's it.
No.
I think that's it. So
okay.
We have, obviously Jon stays, so we have 4 spots for Littlefinger, Marjorie, Roose, Pod, and Arya. So we need to lose 2 of these.
Okay, well, I do think that Marjorie is a lock.
No, sorry, only 1. I don't know how counting works.
Yeah, it's okay. We'll figure it out.
I agree. Do you think Marjorie goes 2?
I think it's a toss between Marjorie or Littlefinger.
I think Marjorie.
Okay.
Shake on
Marjorie?
The merit
that she had a better episode as well?
Yeah. Like, Littlefinger kind of looks like a dumbass about the Ramsay thing. And for that reason, I'm going to dock him a little bit of a point. All right, so Marjorie goes 2 and Littlefinger goes 3 then? Or does Roose go 3?
I think there's a case for Roose. I don't know that that's my feeling, but I think there's definitely a case for it.
By the way, I like Arya more than Pod. I think Pod is the one that goes. Yeah.
Okay.
I think
with that.
Arya probably
was
stays.
kind of a stretch.
Yeah, I think
to be
Arya
honest.
probably stays exactly where she's at 5.
Okay.
I think.
Okay, so you think Arya is better than the latter, or than the worst of either Littlefinger and Roose?
No.
You don't think that?
I think Littlefinger and Roose go next. Arya stays
Oh,
at 5.
counting, right?
Yeah.
We'll figure that out.
I was like, what the fuck are you talking about?
Yeah. Okay.
We know how to count to 5, I swear. Yeah, I think this is kind of a top. I'd probably give a slight nod to Roose, honestly.
Yeah, I mean, he does in a way kind of work Littlefinger in this episode.
A little bit.
Sure,
bit.
we'll go.
Okay.
We'll go. Roose, Littlefinger, Arya.
Okay, let's do that then. So Roose goes 3.
It's a weird sentence coming off the tongue. Roose, Littlefinger, Arya.
Littlefinger goes 4, and Arya stays put at 5. Okay, listen, that wasn't so bad. We make it look so easy. When we figure out how to count, we actually know what we're doing. So this week, that's going to be Jon Snow with an absolute banger of... let's pretend like it was the finale of that episode. Staying and put at number 1, Marjorie Tyrell. She is married. She is wrapping the king around her finger, and she is getting some good Tommy boy loving, I guess. I don't know. Oh, she dunked on...
I don't know.
Good is... Yeah, listen, I'm trying to be generous here. Also, she did dunk on Cersei a lot. So that was pretty good. Roose at 3, just, consolidating power, playing the game, doing what he does. Littlefinger, pretty much more of the same from him. And Arya with a quietly solid little episode for her. So she stays at 5. Any final thoughts here, Zachy boy?
Just our ratings. I think I'm gonna go.
Oh, right.
I think I'm gonna go 6-2.
I love how specific you are. I'm gonna go. I went 5 last time. I think I'm gonna go 6-2. I'm gonna copy you. I'm gonna go 6-2.
Okay, all right. Hell yeah, my guy.
Hell yeah, 6-2 gang.
This could be a little bit better. I could go 6-5 on this.
We already said we're 6'2" gang. Don't change on me now.
Okay. All right.
I am actually 6'2" too, actually. So
you're 6'2"
I'm
too?
truly 6'2" gang. Yeah.
I always forget that you're tall, and then every single time that we like hang out, I'm always like, "Fuck, dude, that's right, you're tall."
That's all. Yeah, I don't feel tall though. I don't know why.
I'm like right. I am probably a half an inch away from 6 foot.
See,
I'm like 5'11"
I don't feel like
change.
I'm like way taller than you or anything.
No, but you definitely like, you also stand up very straight. You're just like,
really?
Yeah. Oh yeah, definitely. You just look like a taller person than I do. Like when we're standing next to each other.
Fair enough.
I got told the other day. So I work from home, right? You know this. Everybody at home listening, if you didn't know that, I work from home. But there is an office for the company I work for down the road. And for the last day of our busiest season, I went to go work in the office. It was crazy, dude. We got there like at 7 and worked until like, I don't know, 9:30, 10, 11. I don't know. We left so late.
As the kids would say.
Yeah, it was wild. But I got to meet up with some of my teammates on my team who I'd never met in person before. So yesterday, we're talking about it in the team meeting in the morning, and we're like, yeah, we finally got to meet there's a couple of us that don't live in Austin, so like and we were talking about like, so the guy I met, Blake, he's also tall, and he was like, well, we're like about the same height. He's like, I might have an inch on you, but like we're about the same height. And dude, like 3 people on my team were like, Zach, I thought you were like short. I thought you would have been like 5'5", 5'6", and I was like, what the fuck, dude?
Oh, short ass over here,
dude. Fucking team thinks I'm a short king.
Oh, stubby ass.
Not cool.
That's so fucking funny, dude. Just
it is very funny.
Hating on you for no reason.
I know, man. Catching fucking heat. Anyway. Guys, we appreciate you guys for listening so much. Go hit us up on the Twitter and Instagram at We Don't Want a Pod. And as I mentioned last week, I will be having a spin-off, kind of sporadically posting podcast with good friend Sam of Harry Potter and the Half Drunk podcast. If you guys are interested on that, go check the socials because I'm sure we will have some info up about that somewhere there. Love you guys, and we'll see you guys next week. Thank you guys. Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.